Hello, young reporters. Welcome to the Young Reporters program family.
And congratulations for landing yourself a gig in probably the best and certainly the most comprehensive training programs for young journalists out there.
At this stage, you probably don't know how privileged you are to be part of this group, but just remember that throughout the campaign and know that this is really a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
I mean, it's life-changing. That's a cliche, but it is.
Through this video, I just want to tell you the do's and don'ts of the program. Obviously, the most important part is to listen to your mentors. I mean, they are very great people who will be teaching you, looking after you in these 2 weeks. So we just grab whatever opportunity you have to learn from them. You know, they have been in the field, they have done that. They know everything about Olympic reporting. They know the ABCs about it, and you know, you've got a lot to learn from them, obviously.
They are willing to share, they're willing to teach. Despite their seniority, despite their experience, they are so helpful. So just make use of them.
Secondly, ask questions. Your mentors are there for a reason and they can help you out a lot. Ask them questions, ask people around the streets questions about their culture, ask other journalists questions. You might be able to pick up a few things from the way they work, and you might do things differently in your country that you can help them out with.
Pace yourself. A major games is quite a long event, so you know, don't go out like it's a sprint. It's more like a marathon, I think.
What works for me, covering a big and fast event like the games, and in that kind of environment, is creating a structure for myself and trying to stick to it.
Plan your journey well ahead of time. Many times the main press center where you're going to be housed is going to be miles away from the venues, okay? So you need to figure out how you're going to get to the venues, what time you need to get to the venues, how you're going to get back from the venues, where you're going after that particular venue. Plan, logistics.
And give yourself some allowance in terms of time, because the bus might break down, you know, there might be a traffic jam, and you might get lost. Things just happen all the time, so I feel it's important to get to a venue early so that, you know, you get your bearings and you're settled down and you're just prepared for things to happen and not just reacting.
And before going out there, make sure that you have all the equipment you need and it's functional and it's charged. Check again. Put an extra battery in your bag, an extra memory card, a card reader, a pen. And know your equipment. I mean, you don't really have much time to get familiar with all of these professional cameras and lenses that you'll be given, but at least before heading off to an assignment, make sure you know which button does what, which control ring does what, whether you have a fixed lens or a zoom lens, how to attach the lens to the camera or a monopode to the camera. I mean, these are all such little things, but really you don't want to be struggling with the equipment instead of working on your assignment.
Do your research. I mean, if you're going to an event and let's say it's equestrian, I mean, you don't know much about it, so read up all you can about it, and even if it's something that you think you know about, I think you should still read up and be prepared, go with questions prepared, and it's just so in case, you know, things unexpected happen, and often they do.
And after that, stick to your deadlines. We as journalists are nothing without deadlines. Deadlines matter. Stick to them.
Don't belittle the seemingly uninteresting stuff, because very often I think that's where, you know, the gem of a story is. So the so-called unimportant sports, the not so popular athlete, go dig there.
There'll be stories enough with so-and-so won a race. Look for the stories of human interest, okay? That's the bread and butter of our journalism at these games. The human interest. And it's not to say that sports need to be pushed in the back. Of course not, it's a sporting event. But there are a lot of other people with a lot of other stories to tell. And your job is to go out there and tell those stories.
And this is no different with photography. I mean, you do want your beautiful action shot, but what you want even more is a photograph which would have a story behind it, speak for itself, provoke feelings in people, make them react. So find your story, be different, think pictures, get closer, take risks. And with just a little bit of luck on top, you'll get the shot.
There's a few things I want to tell you not to do. Firstly is don't complain if you get tired. Everyone's going to be tired. It's a pretty intense few weeks, but everyone's in the same boat. So don't start whinging and complaining. Make sure you just put your head down, do your work, and really remember that there are so many people who wanted to be in your position.
I don't want you to be afraid. Take risks. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's the only way you're going to learn.
Don't hesitate to ask stupid questions.
Don't get arrogant and don't think that you're entitled to this experience. This is a privilege. It's very important to be thankful for what you get, and also just to be nice and friendly to everybody, because you never know when something might come back to hurt you, or when something might come back and it might affect how you perform when you're trying to do your job.
Also, I would really recommend that you try to meet as many people as you can.
The Olympic movement is a really small world, and you're sure to see these people again at future games.
Get to know the other people in the Young Reporters group. From my time in Singapore, I've made so many friends. I've got a group of friends who now live around the world, and every few years we tend to now meet up at certain Olympics or certain events around the world, and it's probably the best thing that I got out of my experience are the friends that I've made, and we became really close. So make sure that you talk to other people in your group, help them out when they need help, and also just enjoy their company.
And then probably the number one piece of advice I have would be to step out of your comfort zone, try new things, test yourself.
You know, you're going to get these tasks to do from your mentors, but don't just do that. Go and immerse yourself in the culture of China. Go and see all these other different sports. Talk to the athletes. Don't do just what you have to.
Always fit that extra activity in your day. Even if you're tired, always go an extra mile. Because there is one thing you don't want, and this is to go home knowing you had a chance but you didn't take advantage of it. There will be other opportunities in your life, and you will hopefully do some more Olympics, and you'll probably return to China, but your first Youth Olympic Games will only happen in your life once.
And look, this isn't a vacation, but at the same time, have fun.
You know, when time permits, make a point in going out, getting drunk, you'll need it, and really just get to know each other, and remember that this is only partially about work, and this is equal parts about fun, and you know, you can work hard, but you can also play hard.
So have a great time and enjoy, and have a blast.